Hi everyone, and welcome to something a bit different for me, that is. And that is, what if? The question, the big question, the big ponderous question of the Marvel Cinematic Universe from last year, technically now, because I got on the Marvel streaming shows a little bit later than everyone else. So, just kind of waited for it to die down, and when I got in the mood, I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll start with WandaVision. It's like, yay, I like this, I like what they're doing. Okay, but when I got a What If, it just opens so many doors, and I was like, oh my goodness, this, and this, and this. If you haven't seen the show, I'll try not to spoil, but basically, most of this wave here is from the same wave, and most of it is from What If, except her. Who is that? Well, this is Sylvie from Loki. And she, as you can tell by the costume and the general look, she is a variant of Loki, taking the place of Lady Loki from the comics. So, this is the only one that has the photo-real face sculpt, dunk, from the... that they use for any depiction of live-action characters. And does it look like Sophia? Maybe. It does the usual. If it's a 3/4 angle, it looks more like her than not. If it's dead on, it looks a bit But that's, regardless of whether or not it looks like it, I think that is a damn good face sculpt. So yeah, quick look at Lady Loki. She has a removable cloak, which is a soft-ish plastic. But the thing is, once you put the cloak on, you can't have her in too many poses, because even though it is soft plastic, it's very much moulded to this one shape. So maybe it would have been nicer with a soft goods thing. I don't know. But once you have the cloak off, there's not a lot of it. she's a very slim figure, very lithe. I suppose reflecting the traditional MCU Loki himself. We've got a sword, which I believe is a falchion. I don't know my swords too well. But this reminds me, weirdly, of the White Ranger sword from Power Rangers. Because it's got a similar sort of thing at the hilt, and it's got the... Yeah, so I think this is a falchion. I'm not too sure. But yeah. Nice sculpted details, bit of nice bronze paint for the metaling areas, and a good bit of bronzy on the crown as well, with a broken horn. Nice, very nice indeed. Oh dear, well that happened. This is why I was a bit worried about it, but there you go. As we turn to the back, we could just see more of the nice sculpted detailing in the cloth and stuff. Regular articulation, and we will see this basic level of articulation throughout this wave. Jazz hands! Anyway, so yeah, we get that. We get a bit of torso wiggle. We get a usual... This is like a standard figure for articulation now, so we get a ball-jointed head, but does it have a second joint? Yes, it does. It has a sort of rocker joint, so she can sort of put her head forward, like, are you starting something? Starting something, bud? Yeah, so we got that. We can look at the sword with pondering. So, and as well, we got double knee joints. There we go. Or double joints at the knee. Bit stiff, but one of those things. She can do a good high kick, because naturally. She's got some nice ranging ankle joints at the boot as well. Can break her foot as if she's a zombie. I don't know why we'd think about zombies with the What If wave. Interesting. So yeah, not about lots of articulation for this gal. And if we get the cloak back on, you see, this is kind of why it's good to pose without the cloak as well, because immediately putting the cloak on has sort of restricted her arms, which is a little bit frustrating, I would have to say. But not terrible. So let's see if we can get everyone else to stand up, please. There we go. The King of Wakanda stands for no one. except his people. And maybe Chadwick himself. There we go. Right, so, awkward reach. So everyone stood up again. Fabulous. Right, so, can actually move her back there now. Yeah, yep, good. Are we happy now? More or less. Okay, so if we have her stood there. Come on. See, sometimes on a softer surface, you do have to sort of reset the joints, as it were. Requires a little bit of finagling, a little bit of balance, but patience, persistence, practice, the 3 Ps, we're good. So these are the alternate hands that come with Lady Loki, with Sylvie. We've got a fisticuffs one for the right hand, which her sword is currently in. I've decided to keep the sword hand in her hand because that way she's doing something. You know, she's kind of even though pose is restricted, etc. She's doing something. She's ready to do something. And for the other hand is another sword grasping hand that can be swapped out with this splayed hand. So if you would prefer this sword to be held in her left hand, you can do just that. However, that means that the alternate versions for the grasping hands are either the fist for the right one or the open splayed one for the left. And I've just realised you could do the punching hand thing. Maybe that's worth a try. Maybe that's worth a try later on. So yeah, that's Sylvie. So we'll put her to one side. I'll put her at the back, should I say. So that's the kind of the odd one out of the wave because she is from Loki instead of What If. But let's get to the What If, shall we? We'll start with Spidey. So this is Zombie Hunter Spidey, as described in the box. He has Doctor Strange's cloak, because if you've seen the zombies story of What If, you know why Doctor Strange doesn't have his cloak with him, and now he's accommodating other heroes. So again, like Sylvie's cloak, this is one solid piece, but because this is more open, it allows for a greater degree of movement, which Spidey has. Spider-Man figures usually have a good range of motion. So double knees, good rocker ankles, that sort of thing. Twisties at the thigh, ball joints at the hips, universal joints at the shoulders, twisting bicep, double elbows. Can we get the double elbow? And some basic articulation for the hand, ball joint for the head, and sniff your own fist, because why not? So yeah. So those are just... Oh, God. Yeah. There we go. There's some stiffness on them, there's some ratcheting, slight buttery ratcheting on them, but not too bad. We've got a waist swivel here, which again is indented, so it sort of wants to be in like one of 8 positions. We've got an abdominal crunch as well, which can lean backwards. When you lean it backwards, the sculpting gets a little bit lost. But Spider-Man doesn't really go back too much, so it's not a big deal. However, I can see why some people would be a little bit frustrated with that. But in the back, you hunch him over. That's it, because you unless you're doing extreme dynamic poses like that, you don't really need to have the back go that far. But most of the time you naturally go forward anyway, so that makes more sense. Okay. So yeah, nice figure. I believe this will be a repaint / retool of a previous Spider-Man figure, most likely the Homecoming / Far From Home suits, because that's what this is based on. And as we get a bit closer, you can see... Oh, you might be able to make out on this... There we go. Bit of focus. Thank you. You're focused. Well done. You can make out some texture with the red on the suit. Not so much on the pelvic area, which is a bit of a clash, has to be said, but not bad at all. Got some nice silky, glossy paint for the Black Spider logo. And the head itself ain't too bad. It doesn't really look like a cartoon Tom Holland. Most of these guys look like cartoon versions of the live-action characters. Especially this guy, because Benedict is such a distinctive person. But with this guy, it doesn't really look too Tom Hollandish. Oh, except if you do that. That looks a little bit Tom Holland. The rest, not so much. And in the show, it's even more difficult to tell because they've given him like more square-jawed proportions, etc. But it does look like a Peter Parker though. Not so much Tom Holland, but it does look like a Peter Parker. It's one of those ones where you can't quite put your finger on it. But yeah, nice hair sculpting as well. Got some detailing and quiffing and bits of parting. Yeah, so when the camera focuses, it's not bad. Yeah. And as for accessories, we've got multiple hands. Spider-Man figures tend to have multiple hands, so we've got a thwipping hand for the left hand. Right, we'll just get him in frame again so we can see what we're talking about. Thank you very much. Get him. Spidey, will you please stand? His knee's bent, that's why. Right. Yeah. There we go. Are you going to stand? You don't want to, do you? There we go. There we go. So we can see he's got a fisted hand in his left. So alternate thwipping hand, because of course he can thwip with both. He's got a thwipping hand on his right arm, which is alternated with another fist. So unlike Sylvie, with this Spider-Man, we've got two mirror hands to play with, which isn't bad at all. Although with Spider-Man, you don't really have a need for fisted hands unless he does like a textbook superhero pose or landing or whatever. But yeah, all in all, not too bad. Not too bad at all. We've even got some sculpting in the chest area for the ribs and stuff like that. Some muscle definition. Yes. So not too bad. And also with this one, assuming it is a repaint / retool, the main difference, apart from the extra super duper special zombie hunting wrist web shooters, will be the paint apps as well, because we've got a bit of grime on his leg there. When I got the figure, I thought, oh, this is a bit of wear showing red underneath. I thought, oh no, wait, it's distress. It's supposed to be there. So yeah, we've got a bit of grime on his thing. We've got some grime on his feet as well. Now look a bit muddy, but this is supposed to be a distressed look of the suit. So we've got a little bit up here as well. I can't see it too well in this light. So yeah, well, you can see it better there. So yeah, bit there. Not so much on his back. Don't really focus too much on his back. But we've got enough here and there to say, yes, that's worth it. We haven't so much got some on his head. He's got an alternate head with his full mask on. Oh, hang on. Can I get the... There we go. Put it on the thing. Focus, please. There we go. Some nice clean lines for the eyes and the eye shadow, as you'd expect from a Spider-Man. But yeah, all in all, not too bad at all. For a Spider-Man figure, I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, not bad. So I'll put him to one side again, like Sylvie. Come on, there we go. Right, put him there. Good thing I've got something to lean him against. There we go. Right, now let's take a look at supreme strange. Things are about to get strange. Very strange indeed. Now, here we've got Doctor Strange. And I would say this is probably the weakest figure of the bunch. Early spoiler warning. And that is not a huge detriment to the figure itself, because just looking at him, he does look visually impressive. Very nice. And as I mentioned earlier, the face sculpting, that is a dead-on cartoon Benedict Cumberbatch. You can't go wrong with that. That is definitely him. The hair sculpting as well, quite impressive. But the main differences with this and regular Doctor Strange's, not just in colour and head, but the cloak! The evil cloak with symbols and runes and stuff inside. Nice gold painted lines. Very cool. The main difference is with this cloak and the other cloak. Guys, please. Just there. Thank you. So the main difference with the actual physical cloak itself is this peg here. Now, this is a really big cloak for one of these figures, and it's supposed to be all airy and levitating and stuff. And we've got a back hole for the peg in Doctor Strange's back, and as we try plug it in, because the cloak is soft material like the other two cloaks we've seen, it sort of smushes in a little bit. It doesn't really plug in, it smushes in. And because this cloak is so heavy and it's at a particular angle, the best way to have this cloak displayed when you have it on the figure is to put the figure's arms back. It gives him a bit more of a flair, but it's something that has to be done to sort of to make it look right. So there you can see the collar, and the collar basically sits right on the figure now. So if I put the arms forward, if I let them rest naturally for a person, so you can see how much the collar wants to sort of kick up, and there's a lot of gappage. If you're looking at it straight on, there's a lot of gappage between the things. So yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it is. Should be, is. Should be, is. Other than that, cloak is a fine piece, and it gives them an impressive silhouette. So, articulation, more or less the same again. We've got a ball joint for the waist, which is cool. We've got a double barbell joint for the head. So, universal and bicep for the arms, double joints for the elbows, hands as well. Universal for the hands. Now, this is where it gets a bit finicky, because if you try to pose this Doctor Strange below the waist in anything other than standing, then his inner cloak, his robes, get in the way a little bit. And I took some photos of these guys earlier, and I put this, and I was determined to get this one in a kneeling pose. Yep. I was determined to get this guy in a kneeling pose, but because of these robes, even though they are soft plastic, they are still stiff, so you have to fight them a bit. So be wary of that. So if I can try to demonstrate it now. See, the cloak, these tips of the robes, they go outside of the legs. So what I had to do was to get these tips either resting on the legs or on the inside, so then they wouldn't be resisting against the floor of where this figure's standing. But yeah, otherwise, not bad. Again, we've got stiff leg joints and stuff, and if you really want to pose with the legs, I'm not sure what to tell you. This piece is only a little bit movable. It's a separate piece, of course. I suppose if you really wanted to get some dynamic posing going on, you could heat up with a hairdryer or boiling water and then just pop the waste out, because it will be a ball joint, and this is a separate piece. So once you pop that out, you'll be able to take this off, put it back together, and you won't have this bit of rubs. The figure will look weird because this piece is supposed to be the bottom half of this top. Pardon me, this top here. So it will look very strange. See what I did there? Pun unintentional, but appreciated. So yeah, paint's not too bad either. This was the last one in the store when I got it, so I didn't have much of a choice. But thankfully, the QC on the paint apps on these kinds of figures these days aren't too terrible. The only thing is, we have a bit of overspill on this bit here. That's like the main thing that I would think, frustration on. Otherwise, not too bad at all. So you can even see the dark eyes, because it's a dark strange. So he has dark eyes. Yeah, accentuated by the shadowing, which is very nice. See there, he looks like he's got no eyes at all. It's all gone a bit. What's the movie called? Event Horizon. That's the one. It's all gone a bit Event Horizon. Hi. So yeah. So that's Strange Supreme. Pop his cloak back on. Oh, I forgot to say as well, he also has an interchangeable hand with one of his magic-y things that he does. Very nicely detailed. When the camera focuses like that... Oh, no, that's not it. Come on, focus. Bear with. Anyway, it's not just like a pretty. There you can see it good there. You can see it good there. You can see it well enough there. It's in focus now, so you can see the detail and it is raised. So it's a nice 3D object. Very nice. Put this, and you can swap this out with the right hand, so you can get some good magic-y poses going on. So put him at the oh, for goodness sake! So put him at the back, and stand these guys up, because really, right. It's kind of handy now. Right, okay, there we go. Because Nebula's the next one. Right, so then Chadwick, please. There we go. So, on to Nebula. So Nebula is basically a much healthier and happier version than the one we see in the films. Now, they've sort of replicated Karen Gillan's tall, slim proportions, more or less. So yeah, this is a good figure, except, as you've been able to see, it doesn't stand very well, because there's a very small surface area for which this level of tallness to stand on. Thank you. So yeah, Nebula. And one main difference from a regular Nebula is that she has hair. She has blonde hair. I would have liked to have seen them make her a redhead, just because of Karen, but you can't have everything. Maybe I can repaint. No, probably won't. But yeah, this hair on this head is a separate piece as well that they've glued in place. So I suppose with effort you would be able to sort of pry it and see, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to damage this figure. So yeah, basic articulation, of course. Head swiveling, torso swiveling, waist swiveling, ball joints at the torso as well. Leg kicking action, more or less. Double knees. The boot cuts for the ankle joints is a bit different from others. Usually it's straight on or straight down. This one is at a 45-degree angle. So, and I think that's to do with how the actual swivel joint works, which doesn't want to cooperate now because of course. So if we do that, see that's as far as it can go up, and that's as far as it can go back. So yeah, not bad at all. We've got this holstery piece, which is a separate piece, of course, which has her blaster, her nice, funky 60s looking blaster, and I suppose this was the inspiration behind this version of Nebula. It was this whole 60s sci-fi look, because the hairstyle is absolutely that sort of retro 60s vision of style and future. You know, with the yeah, well, you know what I mean. So this blaster really suits in that sense. So we can get poses like that going on. So there's a bit of a secret, bit of a Charlie's Angels thing going on here. Almost a femme fatale sort of deal as well, which would have made even more sense if her hair was red. But again, kind of everything. So there we go. Got a bit of a thing going on there. Nice. And the only thing is, with this figure, is similar to a lot of female figures in Marvel Legends, single joints for the elbows. Now, I can understand the aesthetic desire to do that, but when you have nearly every single male character with double joints in the elbows, and you have characters like someone that we'll talk about in a minute who has double joints in the elbows, you just gotta wonder why. It is a bit frustrating, or it can be, especially if you want to do more dynamic posing. So yeah, accessories, well, we've seen the blaster, but we also have interchangeable hands as well. Instead of the blaster holding hand, we also have this splay hand, the sort of, I think that's like ready to draw hand almost, or something sensual. She's feeling something, maybe to make a, or she's, or it's a hand that sort of goes on the floor, you know, as like you're almost resting on the floor, and it's like you put your hand down a bit like that, maybe. But the other hand is curious, because I've got the fist in at the moment. BF. I've got the fist in, but the interchangeable hand for the left one is a trigger hand for the gun, but she only has one gun, and it's for the other side. Her gun is holstered on that side, so that is the hand that makes sense to have that trigger finger. This hand doesn't make so much sense. You kind of have to jump through a couple of imaginary hoops, like she draws with this hand, and then for some reason it's better for her to wield it in that hand to shoot. Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, there's a few mental hoops to go through. Not too bad, though. In terms of sculpture, the skin, or the exposed body part, the blue of this, I'm trying to make it not sound too weird, you know? The blue, this skin body parts are nice and smooth. They've got a nice, I think it's a gloss paint to it. Well, it can be a gloss too much, but maybe satin, probably. Yes. So it's got a nice smooth texture for theirs. Same with the face and the hair, but with the suit, it's nice and textured. So again, if we can see, so it's got varying textures as well. We've got a few lines going here. We've got some fabric texture going on there. So get the focus, please, so you can see more there. And yep, more variety of texture on the boots. Lovely. So yeah. So get the gun get the blaster holstered. You know what I mean. Anyway, so yeah, so that's Nebula. Puts her back there. And let's have a look at the other character from the same episode that she's in. T'Challa. T'Challa Star-Lord. So here is what happened when the Ravager's ship picked up T'Challa instead of Peter Quill, which honestly turned out to be a better story for the entire Marvel universe. So we've got some nice posing going on with the guns. T'Challa doesn't come with interchangeable hands. Not sure why. Because if you want to pose him without his blasters, then he's got permanent trigger fingers. Just there. In some angles they look okay, but he's got permanent trigger fingers. But yeah, very nice sculpting going on. When I picked this guy up, there were quite a few of him, and I went through quite a few because some paint applications were a bit off on quite a few figures, including the buckles here. Anything that had metallic paint painted onto a larger piece usually struggled. So all this golden looking metal bits, they tended to struggle on the paint apps, even though they had specific designated places for them to be painted on. And his facial hair as well. Again, focus please. There we go. This goatee area of the beard should be straight, should be a solid line on the chin, but on some figures it was a split line. So it dropped a level and then it went continued. I wouldn't have minded that too much, but yeah, given the choice, a solid beard is the way to go. Especially is that how it was supposed to look. Okay, again, more or less the same deal with articulation. Nothing too much to shout about in terms of that, to be honest. But you've got a cracking figure who can pose well, and his jacket is more or less a soft piece over articulated things, and his ab crunch has got a nice click to it. Oh yeah. Dreaming Star, bonjour mon ami, how are you? Welcome to the Marvel stream. Hope you're doing well. You're just in time for some shiny paint on a night. It is a very cool jacket. It is the Star-Lord jacket. T'Challa Star-Lord jacket. So, yeah, purple must be a theme for T'Challa's Star-Lord. I wonder if it was Chadwick's favourite colour as well. And here we can have a good look at one of his blasters. So you've got a bit more shiny paint on the I won't say tips, but they're more or less outlets, aren't they? So, yeah. So we've got a purple theme going on instead of the red for the original Star-Lord. And I kind of prefer this one, to be honest. So, yeah. 2 of those. Get them back in his hands. Yeah. Oh, where's the other one? Found it. Don't panic. Finagle. There we go. See, there we go. Get some awesome posing going on. There we are. That's a good Star-Lord pose. Now he's ready to fight. He isn't ready to fight indeed. Ready to save the universe. Because he is Star-Lord, legendary outlaw. The Robin Hood of space. So there we go. Nice Star-Lord figure going on. When I first got this as well, for some reason there was something in his legs that made him difficult to stand. Maybe it's because I had his legs like close together like that, but he seems to stand okay now. And it's probably one of those things where it's like, what's the thing? When you break into a new pair of shoes, that sort of thing. So the more you use it, the better it'll be. But yeah, there you go. Oh, I forgot. I forgot the alternate head. He has an alternate head, which has the Star-Lord mask. Again, purple instead of red, but nice shiny gold paint. And I can see his hair poking through as well. I'm not going to swap the head because this head is on a ball joint, and for some reason this copy of the figure, the wrong joint pops out when you try to swap the heads. So there's a joint in the head and there's a joint in the neck. So it's the one in it's the one in the head that's supposed to come off, so you can swap with the helmet. But it's the one in the neck that keeps coming out, and there's simple fixes for that here and there and everywhere. But the way I like to do it is wrap a one of those twisty ties as tight as you could, and then slowly just ease it out of the head. That's the only way I found to do it, really. So yeah, there we go. Star-Lord. T'Challa Star-Lord. And now we come to my favourite figure of the gang, Captain Carter. This is what happened when Peggy Carter took the Super Soldier Serum instead of Steve Rogers. We have an icon for Britain. Doesn't she look amazing? Yes. Just admire. Full 360, more or less. Now, the suit is more or less based on the more modern Captain America suits. The shield, of course. Ooh, amazing British icon, of course. Of course, Dreaming Star. They'll have to do a French version next for you. Now, the shield has the Union flag instead of the star. Yep, there we go. And it's probably more or less the same shield, just repainted, that we've seen on other Captain America figures. And the printing of the Union flag on this one is quite good. However, if you have options to look through, then please do that, because some of this printing, especially on the blue triangles, can be really off. So you can see one of them is a little bit off there. I suppose this was the best one I could find. Oh god. Well, I suppose by the time this goes up for people to watch in the future, it'd be a bit late in the day for that. But yeah. Oh, really like this one. Yes, I do too. I very much like this one. Most of the characters you see here were voiced by their original live-action counterparts, so this is Hayley Atwell. Hopefully they'll be bringing Hayley Atwell's Peggy Carter as well, but Captain Carter in more stuff, including the Multiverse of Madness, and maybe we may even see a live-action version. Hopefully. The face sculpt, gorgeous. It's very much a cartoon Hayley Atwell. I'm very impressed with it. The hairpiece is more or less one solid piece at the back. It'd be nice if some of the longer hairpieces for these figures were more flexible, but it don't really matter. Don't matter too much, especially when you've got noble posturing to do. And yeah. And I don't think this character came with alternate hands. I don't believe she did anyway. But again, not too much of a bother. The best arm to put the shield on, I have found, is this one, because the fist can go through the holes, the straps of the shield. You could do it on this hand. However, you would have to take this hand off, then put the shield on, and then try to put the hand on afterwards. I've tried that. It's a bit too fiddly for what it's supposed to be. So I've left it on this hand. I'll just take it off as well. Drop the shield, so you can get a good look at the... So nice differings of paint and texturing. So we've got some shiny red paint for some of the straps here, and for the torso as well. So yeah, a lot of coordination with the painting and the printing to go on this one. And not bad at all. See, the main thing I always go for figures is the face. Does the face look right? Do the eyes point in the same direction? Is the mouth printing aligned? You know, that sort of thing. And on this one, I think they did quite a bang-up job. The only thing I've just noticed now is that the red cross doesn't exactly match the thing or sculpt on the actual figure. However, that's not too much of a bugger, because if you just look at it without taking that sculpting into account, that looks fine. I think so, anyway. I think it's because it looks evenly applied. It's, yeah, you can get away with that. So yeah, if we look at the back, we've got some shiny metal paints for the thing that holds the shield. We're still not 100% sure on how that kind of strapping works. Also, speaking of shiny indeed, also, the shield can kind of fit on her back, as with any Captain America. However, it doesn't clip into the back or anything. Oh dear, no. Right, so we've got the straps. See, if you have it so that the straps are on either side of the body, you can get away with making a pose where the shield looks like, there we go, looks like it's on her back. And the way to do that is to tuck it under the hairpiece and then lean the head back, so much so that basically the hairpiece is holding the shield in place, sandwiching the shield between her hair and her body. That's basically the way to do it. Secrets revealed. So that once you turn it to one side, it looks a bit funky. But straight on for the back, that looks cool. So there we go. And then can we kick it up? We can kick it up. We can do the thing. However, we're not skilled enough to... Okay. We're not skilled enough to catch the shield once it's kicked up. But it does kind of go in her arm's direction. So, that is very cool. So, okay. I'm gonna give her a hand. Let's see, watch. Dunk. First try. So there we go. That is Captain Carter. Again, with the articulation, very impressive. We've got the basis, and I suppose because this is a super soldier version of a character, we do have the double joints for the elbows there, unlike other female characters. Probably because it's, like I say, the super soldier version. Ha! True skills here. Only the best skills here, I would say. So there we go. We'll put Peggy, please. So this is where you have to sort of finagle the balance, persistence. There we go. Stay. Good. Yeah. Fine. Okay. So now we've got one more thing to do. We've got one more figure in this wave. This guy. Because I now have all the figures that contain the Build-A-Figure parts for this wave. The first time I've actually done this. Because any previous Marvel Legends figures I have had before have been one-offs, and if any of them contain Build-A-Figure pieces, I've just kind of tossed them to one side a little bit. The only real figure of this wave that I haven't got is Zombie Captain America, mainly because A, he doesn't come with a piece, Build-A-Figure piece, and B, I'm not really bothered about him. He appears for like 2 seconds in the show, so I said no spoilers, but that's kind of a spoiler you do want to know about. So I've left the body parts of the Build-A-Figure in the respective boxes that they came in. So here's Zombie Hunter Spidey. We have a right leg. So plonk that there. We've got the box for a leg. You are indeed right, Dreaming Star, a leg. We have Doctor Strange Supreme. And in here, we have another leg. Guess what? We got legs, yo. So there, we got a pair. So it's starting to look a bit like a Pink Floyd video now, but bear with. Okay, who have we got next? Heist Nebula. See, this one came with quite a few pieces. Have to pull the tray out a little bit. We've got a inner robe and the pelvic lower torso area, plus the upper, oh god, the upper body area. There you go. Ow, blooming heck. Gonna have to start throwing boxes. Okay. This is not how I want it, but this is how it has to be. Right. Okay. Next, we have T'Challa Star-Lord, and in his box, a head. Yeah, quite a hefty head as well. So we'll just have that creepily sat there. Okay. And next, we have the box for Captain Carter. And in that box, oh god, that's all dropping out. And in that box, we have a pair of arms. So dump them there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And finally, we have the box for Sylvie from Loki. And she arguably comes with the single biggest piece, the cloak. So, those are all the Build-A-Figure figures. So there we go. Got a figure here. Got another bonus figure. Hooray! So, now we build. Okay. So they might all be a bit cold. So I'm assuming that is the front. So makes sense for this leg to go here. Yes? Do we agree? Right. It's going to be a bit of a going on, but I reckon we're going to get something to eat. Ah, bon appetit, Dreaming Star. Don't you worry about a thing. We'll probably still be here. So that's one leg attached. Got another one. If the temperature and the consistency of the plastic was ideal, we'd be able to tell. We'd be able to tell properly when these things are put in place, because we'd hear a nice, you know, when a mushroom peg fits in place, you know it's in. You don't have to fiddle around with it because it's like, distinct, that's in. Right. So we've got 3 pieces together already. Lovely. Now, let's get the 2 body parts together. See if we can do... Right, so this is a more thinner mushroom peg, so let's see if we can do this on camera. Right, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Is that actually in? Don't say that out of context. Please, this is a family show. You know what? That's twisting okay. I think that's in. See, nothing's popping, so I can't really tell if things are in place properly. Okay. So that's on. Now, what Oh, you son of a gun. This was supposed to go in between these two. Right, 1 second. See, that popped when it came out. Oh no, I've thrown the I've thrown the boxes away. Oh dear. Right, hang on. Yeah. Right. Need some reference for the figure. Because if the figure's facing this way, then this swoops that way, and not that way. See, very important. Right. Okay. All right. See, I was considering not bothering with the Spider-Man and Doctor Strange because you barely see his legs in the show, because he's always robed. So I thought it would be sufficient enough to have him just stand on his robe, you see? But apparently, it's important. But I thought, yeah, there's good opportunities to get both them, so I might as well get the whole Build-A-Figure. Might as well. Ooh, pardon me. Right, okay, let's try this again. I'm back. Welcome back. Bienvenue. See, we're getting things together. Right. Hope you got something good to eat. Oh dear. Well, it's a good thing I'm not trying this on camera, because these two, I'm telling you, some chocolate cookies. Nom nom. Nom de chocolate cookies. Right, let's try again. Let's try again. Because he hasn't really got anything solid to push against, you see, so. Yeah. This is definitely a lot harder than it should be. This probably requires some heat, which I don't really have on me at the moment. But he can more or less just sit on there, so we'll just vaguely put it in the place it's supposed to be. Because trying to get these two together is a bit of a... Okay. So you'll see, he's already standing taller than everyone else. Okay, let's get the arms in. So these should be easy. Fairly easy. Okay, that felt like it went in. Oh, no, it didn't. We're playing silly monkeys, are we? Alright then. Two can play at that game. Okay. Not wanting to stay in A too much. Okay. Let's try this one. That's not too bad. And now, can that fit over and around the head? I'm going to try. Yes, it can. So I can put the head on without worrying about the cloak. Right, this is a not proper ball joint, so that should pop on. Oh, it did pop on, but it didn't make a noise. Boo! Boo, heckle, and or hiss. Okay. Right. So here, finally, we have the one who set the entire series of What If in motion. We have the Watcher. Very cool scaled figure. I am very pleased with that. Apart from, how the joints don't really want to play ball, which is kind of ironic. Look at that. Very nice. Very nice, nice indeed. Bit of shiny paint there. Hexagons! Not hexagons again! Gold vambrace as well. That is a figure with presence. Just look at him, he's cool. Should turn to one side. Get a nice profile view of this guy. Yes. I like a lot. That, yeah, I think that was worth the wait to build up. Me like. Okay. So, kind of looks like an angry baby. I suppose he does. But yes. Apparently, this species of alien comes from like the beginning of the universe, that sort of thing, and they exist outside of realities, so that they're able to observe things that happen. And this guy in particular, I've forgotten his actual character's name, but he's usually just known as the Watcher. So a lot of the times, these Watchers are assigned to keep an eye on specific realities or civilizations or planets, And this guy was assigned, I believe, to keep an eye on Earth and things surrounding Earth. But he pledged never to interfere, which is kind of the thrust of the What If series, that these things happen in these different realities in the multiverse, and he's not supposed to interfere with anything at all. He's supposed to take you through these stories and he's basically the guide for all these different stories. So yeah, very cool. Very nice. We do actually see this species in live action in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So we have that fun Easter egg with Stan Lee's cameo where he's basically saying, making fun of all of his cameos through the MCU, like that, and sort of providing a canon reason as to why so many Stan Lees appear in the universe. But yeah. Very happy with the Watcher. And very cool for me, he is voiced by Jeffrey Wright, who plays Q in Daniel Craig's Bond films. So a very cool Bond connection there. Oh, where's the... Come on, stand. I want to look up. Please. Peg's not playing ball. There we go. Nope, still not doing it. My guy. There we go. It's a nice final loading screen. What, loading screen? A nice final screen to end on, I believe. So, I would say the usual about all the articulation. Yeah, he's got a single joint in this elbow because it's robed, double joint in this elbow because it's bare. So, in this arm, he's got like the basic standard articulation. This one's a bit more limited. His legs got full articulation as well, but there's not much point using them because he has this robe covering them. Other than, and a ball joint for the head, as we saw earlier. Other than that, it's very nice. I want to put this guy up high somewhere, like on the top of a furniture unit, and so to make him look over the entire room or something, because that's what he does. He's a watcher, so I want to make him look like he's watching over everything, because thematics, that sort of thing. But yeah, otherwise, thank you very much for joining us, Dreaming Star. Thank you very much for joining and for chatting along. That'll do for this stream for the time being. I may do something later tonight. I'm undecided but we shall see. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Wash your dang hands, obviously. Hey, Mike. Thank you very much for lurking. Take care, buddy. You take care too, Mike. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for having a look. So yeah, take care of yourselves, eat each other, be awesome to yourselves and each other. Wash your hands, obviously, and always ponder the question: what if? Bye.